This video is brought to you by
Hey, bro!
I see you, sis. I see you, sis.
Yeah, baby. Got that cool green, baby. Got that cool green. We ice.
You already know what it is. Cool green clothing. We done gone worldwide, and we coming straight out of Baltimore. If you're in town, come on down at 215 West Saratoga Street and shop with us. And if you're not in town, go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and make your purchase. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way, and that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube fam? This your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. Let's get right into the story. When most people get older, their lives become more laid back. You might focus more on work, family, and creating a comfortable home so you can close your door at night and you and your family can have peace. But that doesn't mean you don't want to enjoy yourself and have a little bit of fun every now and again. No matter how old we get, we still want to throw on a nice outfit, hit the town on a nice night, grab a few drinks, and just kick back. Some people move around with friends. That way, they have each other's back. A designated driver in case the drinks hit a little bit too hard. They might even have somebody with them. They got the blick ducked off somewhere just in case things get crazy. But some people choose to move alone. They might go to a lounge by themselves, listen to some music, and possibly even meet someone while they are there. Usually people know the spots that's safe and the ones that's not right. But either way, the goal is to have a little bit of fun and make it home safely. But most of us don't think about other people while we are out on the town enjoying ourselves. It could be hungry wolves lurking, plotting, searching for a come up, an easy target. And unfortunately, sometimes a normal thing like a night on the town can take a deadly turn. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll be discussing a case of a man's night out that turned to a setup plot and a home invasion. Back in 2024, 47-year-old David Winchester Jr. was navigating life in Baltimore. The hard-working family man came from a big family with 15 siblings, 10 kids himself, and 6 grandkids. So most of his free time was spent with loved ones. But every now and again, David would get fresh and slide out to a lounge or club in the city. On March 28th, 2024, this was one of them nights for David. He decided he would roll out dolo and hit the Safari nightclub located on O'Donnell Street. Once he pulled up, everything seemed cool. Also at the location that night were 4 people. 34-year-old Marquise Mayo, his sister, 36-year-old Monet Fincher, his homeboy and sister's ex-husband, 35-year-old Jamal Fincher, and Jamal's girlfriend at the time, a young woman named Pam. Somewhere in the mix, Monet went over and introduced herself to David. Little did he know with the goal of getting the man outside of the club. Thinking it was going to be one of those lucky nights, he took the bait. As the two walked to the parking lot, they were chopping it up when Marquise and Jamal popped out the cut, guns in hand, and forced David into the trunk of the car. As they all rode around, the plot turned from a simple robbery to them beating on a man trying to get information where he laid his head at so they could hit the whole house. After minutes of being beat, he gave them his mother's address in Southwest Baltimore, hoping when they pulled up, she would call the police. The woman in the car, Marquise and Jamal, also with David in the trunk, pulled up to the address. Marquise and Jamal, strapped up with a handgun and rifle, walked on the porch and tapped on the door a little bit after 1 a.m. In the house at the time was David's mother, one of his sisters, and her 1-year-old baby. His mother heard the knocks and cracked the door before noticing one of the men had a gun. Then the two forced their way in the house, holding David's mother at gunpoint. They demanded money, telling her they had David, as she pleaded and told them she didn't have anything but a jar with a few $2 bills and coins in it. David's sister, hearing the commotion, ran out the room. Seeing the gun pointed at her mother's head in the attempt to scare off the intruders, she yelled out, "I'm going to get my brothers." That's when Jamal allegedly chased her with a rifle, but she was able to lock herself in a room with her baby. He attempted to get in, and out of frustration, let off 2 shots at the door. After realizing the gunshots was making the situation hot, the men ran back to the car and pulled off with David still in the trunk. They headed to the state's capital, Annapolis, Maryland, and pulled up to Bates Middle School. They forced David to get out the trunk. He was walked to a wooded area, and seconds later, 2 shots went off, and the car fled the scene. Back in Baltimore, his mother had called BPD to report her son had been kidnapped, and the men ran in her home demanding money. She stated it looked like they were driving a blue car. Around about 7 a.m., a man was walking by the middle school in Annapolis, smoking, when he noticed the man laying in the grass. He immediately called local police, who responded to the scene to find a man suffering from 2 gunshot wounds to the back of his head, execution style. He was unfortunately identified as missing Baltimore man David. Neighbors claimed they heard 2 loud pops around 2:30 a.m. After that, they heard tires burning out. Local police, through traffic cameras, were able to see the vehicle identified as a blue Eclipse. And with the tag reader technology, they got a hit of the owner, Monet Fincher. She was soon located in Baltimore and asked why was her vehicle pointed to in a home invasion and a homicide. That was enough for her to break, stating her brother, her ex-husband, and his girlfriend went out to a club and found the man to rob, which their Vic would be David. The men were quickly located, also Jamal's girlfriend Pam, and taken into custody, charged with kidnapping, home invasion, robbery, and first-degree hit. Since the shooting happened in Annapolis, they will all face an Anne Arundel County judge. As David's family received the news, they were hurt that the father and family man was gone. They all stated he didn't bother no one and he was just out trying to enjoy himself. It wouldn't take long for the 4 people involved to start pointing the fingers at each other. Pam's charges would eventually be dropped. As she stated, she was out on what was supposed to be a date with Jamal. She didn't know the other 3 were planning a robbery. She would be the state's key witness and go into the witness protection program pending trial in exchange for her testimony. Monet, Marquis' sister, was pointing to him as the shooter who fired the fatal shots. As the case started making its way to trial, Marquis was the first name to pop up on the docket. As David's family filled the courtroom, his attorney argued his sister and Pam, as Pam, who was being taken care of by the state, was using the man as a scapegoat. As it was stated, they targeted David, but it wasn't supposed to go that far, just a robbery outside the club. With testimony, he was found guilty on all charges and is awaiting sentencing for April of this year. Jamal and Monet are still waiting for their day in court, and if they don't cop out, both trial dates will be coming up this year as well. All the charges against Pam were dropped, and she is currently in witness protection. Rest in peace to David. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. I'm sure he didn't expect his night to end like that at all because he went out and spoke to a woman who was with some dudes looking for a come up. My thing is, you target a man because what you think he got. Beat him for an address, go to his mother's house, adding more charges, then realizing the family had no money, drive him to a whole nother county and take his life. That was a dummy mission from the jump. There's no way possible they thought they weren't going to get caught. Not trying to be funny and condone crime, but if they had that kind of heart, they might as well ran up on a bank. They would have had better chances. But I'm going to leave this one open. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation in the comments. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace to David. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. But I ain't going to talk too much more about this one. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. It's your boy Tony 2 times. Love, fam. I'm out.